for about 15 years, really since newspapers started to show up on the web in any numbers in 96, the idea that everybody pays for the product and everybody pays the same has not worked. I think most dramatically implemented by News International over at Times and Sunday Times with the kind of predictable results. The problem with that model has always been everybody can figure out how to get 2% of the audience to pay. Nobody could figure out how not to lose 98% of the advertising rate base after doing so. And so last March, 12 months ago, the New York Times launched a model in which, and copied, I have to say, from the FT and to some degree from The Economist, in which they said, look, if you just showed up, if you've never been here before, if you came via search or somebody recommended something to you, we want you to read this. We can get some advertising money off you. We can persuade you to maybe become a loyal reader, get more advertising revenue off you. We can sell you things and so forth. But if you go above some threshold in that month, then we're going to ask you to pay. And we're going to ask you to pay us. But the interesting thing is, although the economics are exactly the same, Chicago Sun-Times talks about this in terms of selling a product. You are buying content. The New York Times calls their model the digital subscriber model. You are subscribing to a service. The LA Times calls theirs a membership model. You are joining a club or a community. Right? Identical technology, identical transactions, three really different metaphors. News is product, news is service, news is community. So literally for the first time since 1830, in the US, we are renegotiating how we think about the relationship between the reader and the newspaper publication. And what's fascinating is that it's not a fight about the business model anymore. The fight now is how the newspapers are going to tell the readers about that relationship and what the readers are going to do in response. And I think the metaphor we settle on, or maybe we'll settle on a range of metaphors, is really going to affect the culture of the news business because form follows funding. At some point, the self-conception of the people in the newsroom is going to respond to the reader-newspaper relationship.